Travis Wayne Goodsell. As Mormons realize that the church's claims are hollow, as Mormons realize the church's history is too much to handle, as Mormons realize that President Russell M. Nelson is trying to kill them off with the coronavirus, Mormons can't just up and leave. Not only do they have the pressure from their parents and family and friends and neighbors, there's the factor of what to fill that void with when they leave. The church had filled that void with corruption, with lies, deception. And Mormons need something else to fill it. As Mormons go through the days, weeks, years, recognizing the baggage that they're dragging from Mormonism, they need something to replace that baggage. And that's the danger that the church poses, is that they don't have Mormons pursue truth. They don't teach how to pursue truth, and thus, when it's exposed that they're a fraud, the people are left destitute. And they don't know where to turn for truth. And so a lot of times they'll just rush off into Christianity. But again, Christianity has a supernatural deity, not too dissimilar from the myth of Mormonism. Because there's no way to prove a supernatural deity, just as there's no way to prove the first vision, Moroni visiting Joseph Smith, and the gold plates of the Book of Mormon. There's nothing of substance to any of that. And so for those who just pursue another mythological religion, they're just into the frying pan, out of the fire, out of the whatever. And it's sad to see that. Gerald and Sandra Tanner did that. They decided, well, Mormonism is wrong, so let's be Christian. And they founded their own church. And it's a Christian variation, but their sole intention is to collect documentation showing how the church has lied, deceived. And for that, that's good, but they don't ever combine all the pieces of the puzzle together to figure out what really happened in Mormonism. Others who leave the church look for John DeLynn, who purposely preyed on ex-Mormons to fill that void, to give them a voice. Now, notice I no longer go to church. I'm no longer a part of church. But John Dehlin wants nothing to do with my voice. If that was his whole intention, to give us a voice, why is he shunning me? Why is he not giving me a voice? Not just because psychology is crap. He's not happy with that. Because again, psychology is just like religion. It's empty and hollow. It's science where truth is. And psychology doesn't use science. They're not science. And so, yes, joining up with John Dehlin, following his every video, quoting his video claims, you get caught up in a new mythology. You're not pursuing truth. And John Dehlin knows this as a psychologist. That's a dichotomous thing where, oh, you realized Mormonism is wrong on the one hand? Well, come join this other one where we use mythology to bash the church. And obviously he doesn't say mythology. You know, he says Joseph Smith wrote the Book of Mormon. He just did that video. That was his last video. Well, it was actually Gee versus whatever was his last video. I still need to check his other site. See if he did something there. Is it Understanding Mormonism? Maybe I've been banned from it, so it won't show up. We'll look for it while not signed in. Well, 54 views for John Dehlin helping LDS Mormons remove weak, impure Mormons, or LDS Church remove impure Mormons. Interesting. Let's see, Understanding Mormonism. Yeah, with John Dehlin. 26. Okay. He's repeating. Seeking feedback for new project. That was a week ago. Few shorts for Understanding Mormonism. For those who really care about Mormon Stories podcast, and particularly those who donate, you see, he's asking for money. I mean, that's like priestcraft. Please provide feedback when. See, otherwise this woman and how the church handled her son's mental health crisis. Yeah, you don't use church for mental health. And I kind of wonder if it's the same woman who believed her son was gay and that was the mental health issue. He's just taking you on a wild ride. Hold on here. Okay. February 11th. Okay, that was before he responded. So I gave him feedback. And he has ignored me. Okay. And so technically he's been silent since then. And he just put up another thing that is irrelevant. You know, that's the sad thing, is that he's preying on vulnerable ex-Mormons who just left Mormonism, need something else to believe in. And instead of providing science and truth, John Dehlin's there providing lies, saying, "Oh, Captain Kidd was Joseph Smith's favorite book," and you can see that influence in the Book of Mormon. You know, it's just like View of the Hebrews, guys. Ethan Smith wrote View of the Hebrews. He was a Congregationalist pastor, preacher, priest, whatever, in Vermont. And he came after the Smiths left. The Cowdreys were still there. So Oliver Cowdery, William Cowdery, you know, they got influenced to Ethan Smith and his View of the Hebrews that he published. They were there when that book was published. But it was not an influence in the Book of Mormon. And everybody misses this. The Tanners miss this. They claim that Joseph Smith plagiarized the View of the Hebrews. I read the View of the Hebrews. No, it's not. But when you understand that the Smiths, along with the Cowdreys, were Congregationalists before Ethan showed up, and then you learn about the Wood Scrape with Nathan Wood, as the Smiths and the Cowdreys were a part of that new Israelite Congregationalists. Now you understand how the View of the Hebrews is just the Congregationalist doctrinal viewpoint. And so, yes, it's Congregationalists, not View of the Hebrews. But View of the Hebrews came out of Congregationalists. Did that make sense? And so, yeah, the Smiths already knew all about the information in Ethan Smith's book because they were Congregationalists. And so, it's stuff like that people aren't answering for Mormons, for ex-Mormons. And it's going down the wrong path. Because then you get people firm and fixed saying, "Oh, no, the View of the Hebrews was plagiarized in the Book of Mormon." Have you ever read the Book of Mormon? Have you ever read the View of the Hebrews? "Oh, there's people who have said it." So what? That's called hearsay. You have to read it. You have to make sure and confirm for yourself that what they're telling you is true. I know, it sucks, because there's so many stuff to confirm. And people get lazy. They don't want to confirm. They just want to be told correct information. And unfortunately, in our world, we cannot trust people to give correct information. So, that's why my videos are tailored around telling you the truth. You know, just like the Congregationalists versus View of the Hebrews. That's the original answer. That's the truthful answer. And then you might say, well, how does that fill our void? Well, there's more to the story. And the question then becomes, are you even interested in having that story answered? Or have you resigned yourself that all things Mormonism, original versus the extra falsy, is just not worth your time? You know, it's... I'll put in a plug. HBO is announcing the House of Dragon series. A 300-year prequel. I keep wishing Disney Plus would do an Old Republic live version, obviously, but I read some original Old Republic comic books. I want the Old Republic on the screen. But with the ending of Game of Thrones, people were furious. They were deeply hurt by HBO and the way it ended. And so, will they get a bunch of people to go for a prequel? Yeah. Because they can avoid the disastrous ending. But again, Game of Thrones is all make-believe. It's a mythology, a fiction. And people tend to like fiction. We want to believe that it's real. And so we join Slytherin versus Huff and Puff or whatever from the wizard boy. I teased one of my Mormon co-workers who came to work talking about the latest Harry Potter movie. And I said, "Oh, isn't that witchcraft?" What? Well, he's good. He's a good witch. Oh, so as long as you're a good witch, witchcraft is okay. And then Mormons start thinking that priesthood power is like witchcraft. Oh, God. So, yeah. Alrighty. I think I might be able to go running today. So I'll check and see if I can go running, and then when I return, I'll upload this video for you.